All right, welcome everybody to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly podcast.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since there's been two people at this desk to start the show for different reasons. You know, life, work, that gets in the way sometimes. But so I'm Coach Derek Johnson, and to my right, your left, is Coach Gabe Hovden, Minnesota USA Director for the OWA and assistant coach for the middle school. And world traveler on behalf of the Wrestlers World.
Not world.
I mean, it's Washington State.
That's
pretty
much.
Yeah, that's enough miles right there, right?
Yep.
So but first off, we're going to thank Flemke Insurance Agency. Thank you to Ben Flemke and your staff for all you do for the Owatonna community, but also for what you do for the Owatonna Wrestling Association and your support for the wrestling community in general. Ben and his team, they're independent agents, and so they do the shopping for you. If you've ever seen like those progressive commercials from about 10 years ago where they hunt for you and everything like that, that's what Flemke Insurance Agency does for you, for all your insurance needs, and conveniently located right next to the dam downtown on Bridge Street there. So
nice view.
Yeah, you can go chill. He's got a great office. I love that. So thanks to you guys. Well, I'm going to quick defer to you because it's freestyle greco season and you're the one with all the action right now.
I get getting all the action going on. Like last 2 weeks ago, we were out in Eastview for the boys, and a few girls were at Eastview, and then Aaliyah and me were out in Spokane, Washington for the World Trials. But this weekend, we were up in Apple Valley.
So, okay, sorry. Every time.
Yep. So Friday night was Greco. We had two guys that decided that they wanted to wrestle Greco. Gabe, Rob, and Miles Ozzie both wrestled Greco, and they both dominated. They both took awesome. First. It was good to see that getting their throws in. It's throws only. There's very little duck unders. I mean, all ages, all the way up. Every kid is learning how to throw.
So it's well established that Miles is a little Greco head and he's really good. And but is Gabe pretty new to that?
No, Gabe.
Yeah, he's been doing that too.
He's been doing it, but I'll say the domination that he had on the kids. He's picked up a headlock that it's coming. The other kid knows it coming. I mean, his last match, he threw it 3 times. He got a 4-point headlock, and then they took him down. The kid got to his belly, got him back up, got a 2-point headlock, and then in Greco, 8 points is a tech fall.
Yep.
So he's up 6-0, and the kid's coach is yelling at him. He's going to headlock you. He's going to headlock you. And all of a sudden, me and Tracy Robb was up there with him. And we're sitting there, and me and Tracy are both saying, try something different, try something different. All of a sudden, I see Gabe's chin pop up, and he looks right at us, and he circled just a little bit, and he hammered the headlock for the 3rd time on this kid in the finals. And it was like he completely hooked it up, completely cinched it, squeezed his elbows, looked at us, and then circled and hit the headlock, and it was like...
There's a pattern going on with him.
Yeah, it was like...
he'll look you dead in the eyes and be like, I'm doing this.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it worked for him this time. I don't know. Good. I think the next time the kid's going to be like, we're not going to tie up.
Right, one thing, yeah.
But he did do well. Miles got a couple good body throws, a reverse gut, stood up with it.
Nice.
He did that twice. First one went good. Second one, he got a little loose. Kid landed on me, bailed out of it, got up, still won. Still, Miles took first at that. And then at freestyle, we had 12 Owatonna wrestlers show up there for freestyle this weekend, which was great from our U6. I had 2 little U6 come out and give it a shot. They're the first 2 at practice. When I say, who's wrestling this weekend? Boom, their arms are up, and I look over at their parents, and they both just look, but I talked to their parents, and they brought them up, and they got their first shot at a freestyle tournament. And
nice.
They did learn how to present. When I yelled present, they knew exactly what they're doing. But you got to remember, they're 4 and 5 year olds.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
But yet they're out there. They both came off smiling.
Who is this?
George Johnson and Dimitri Horn.
All right.
So they're the 2 youngest that we had there. George ended up in 3rd, and Dimitri ended up in 4th. And then we also, another young one was Owen Sorensen and Ezra Ewell. They were both there. They're, I want to say, U10s. They got to be both U10.
Okay.
And so they both took second. Ezra and Owen both took second. So it was their first freestyle tournaments.
Yeah.
So they're, I mean, it's freestyle. Anybody can beat anybody at any time. So it was good for them to be there. And then moving up in age, we had Paxton Ewell. He ended up in third place.
Okay.
And then moving up in age from there, we had Anaya Smith. Her first freestyle tournament, and I got to commend that girl. I've known her now since since junior high season started. We actually met her down at the Thursdays on First.
Okay.
And to get that girl to say 2 words.
I know. Very shy.
Very, very, very shy.
Yeah.
I did get her to, because her brother brought her up, which was great. Thank you for bringing her.
Sure.
Mom had to work, so I had to ask her. I'm like, hey, I got some pictures. I need to send them to your mom. And she just looks at me. I go, what's your mom's number? And she just smiles. I go, you got to tell me. So she actually spoke to me.
There you go.
And then I did find out from her mom that she goes, how'd you do? You know, I was telling her, and she goes, well, she's a perfectionist. I go, and I'm sitting here trying to tell her, okay, you got to try other moves. And she's like, and I goes, well, I don't know them very well yet. I'm like, yes, you do. But her mom and says she's a perfectionist, and that girl's got some talent coming.
Cool.
Her only loss was, and in the wrestling community, you'll know this name. Her only loss was to Marcus Levester's daughter.
Oh, no.
So, and if you know that name is very back in the, I would say, what?
01, he was my grade.
Okay.
So 01, Minneapolis Roosevelt, and then transferred to Bloomington Kennedy,
yep.
to try to go against Valley. And so #1 in the country.
Yep.
And Augsburg All-American.
Yep, it's like a 3 or 4 time All-American, I think, for Augsburg.
Yep.
And his daughter is, she's just as...
And he was all-state linebacker in high school, too. So,
and he was an All-American football at Augsburg. He went up for football.
Oh, did he?
one
I
year.
didn't know that.
Yep.
And he got All-American,
Yeah,
of
he
course.
got All-American for football.
He's just a freak athlete.
So I had to wrestle his daughter first round. And she went out there and she only got beat 9-0. She didn't get tech fault. She didn't get pinned.
That's awesome.
And then her next 2 matches, she went out there and lit up them other 2 girls. So it was good to see her there wrestling. She was, and then nope, she wasn't the only girl. So then we move up again to the next one, Lucas Ewell. He had to injury default. Might have a broken bone in his hand somewhere. So after his first match, he got gutted and his wrist got rolled underneath him, and then he got gutted, and then the match was over.
I thought you were going to tell me he broke his hand punching a brick wall. You know that Lucas Ewell and his temper?
No. He came off and he's flailing his hand around, and I'm like, stop flailing. And all of a sudden I see it swelling, and so I told Coach Ewell, Lucas's dad, I said, I think you might want to take him into the trainer. And then here's Mom, and off they go to the urgent care. So he ended up injury defaulting, taking 4th. And then Miles Ozzie wrestled freestyle. He ended up getting 2nd. Ryan Feltz was up there.
Yeah,
he still
Feltzy.
just constantly keeps coming, and which is good. He enjoys wrestling.
Yeah.
So why not? I mean,
Exactly.
you enjoy it. And then Owen Flatland, his first freestyle tournament this year.
Okay.
I mean, he wrestled very little last year.
Sure, okay.
He ended up in 3rd, so that was good.
Nice.
Kayla Pastica.
Yeah.
So we were looking at the brackets, and I was kind of eyeballing one up, and I'm like, I'm going to go and bump her up. She needs to learn how to, when she's going to do a move on somebody, it can't just be easy. So we bumped her up a bracket. Little did I know that she was going to be the smallest of the bracket above her, but she didn't get destroyed. She ended up in 4th. It was just the size difference.
Sure.
I mean, she weighs 100 and maybe 1. The girl she was wrestling with, the lightest one on her bracket was 111.
Yeah.
And the next one was 115. So she was in on her shots, trying to come out, but she just didn't have that strength as somebody's pressuring down on you to pop out the back door. But she did well. She learned, she figured out some stuff. And then Michaela Sells came up for her first freestyle tournament and did very well. learning. She was very happy with how she wrestled, not knowing really just the practice that she's been to is all she knows about freestyle.
Yeah.
So she was very excited. She is very pumped to head this next weekend. We're going to head down to Mason City, Iowa.
Okay.
For they're open to the USA, Iowa, same as Minnesota, but it's actually closer for us to head to Iowa than it is to head to Forest Lake this weekend. So we're going to try something different. And then Caden Lindquist took second place at the Apple Valley tournament too. So we had all them there. Would like to have more showing up to the tournaments, even though that Apple Valley was the closest. Now we got Mason City this weekend, and we'll see how many kids we can get going down there. That's awesome. We're all gonna meet because Iowa runs their tournaments different than Minnesota. So they run them like they used to run them back when we came through. So it's
weigh in together.
And no way. It's still registered, but they wrestle all ages at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
So now here in Minnesota, they will do juniors and cadets in the morning, little kids in the afternoon.
Yeah, they break them up.
And then switch it for the next tournament. It'll be little kids in the morning, then juniors and cadets in the afternoon, just so you're not sitting there all day.
Yep.
But so we're gonna head down to Iowa. I got contact with the director down there at Mason City. So just trying to get a few more information from him because one of their pages say Friday night and another one says Saturday. And he was asking us about that. Well, where did you see Friday night? We're like, well, right here. So we screenshotted it and sent it to him. He's like, oh boy. So I got another call we got another call into him to figure just to make sure we have all if we have to register on Friday night because there also one page says you can register Saturday morning. So we're like, we would just want to make sure, are we registering Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, we have 43 kids right now signed up for freestyle and greco, and I want to say 39 of them show up every practice. So
that's cool.
If you're thinking you don't have a practice partner, you will have a practice partner. It's a full room to the point where we're getting really close to almost separating, but yet Tuesdays and Thursdays, some kids make it, some kids don't. So we're just mind the little guys on one side, big guys on the other.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But no, freestyle's going great. It's going great.
Awesome.
So
yeah. No, that's good to hear, and yeah, it is a full room, and that's good to see. And of course, we recognize that there's a lot of kids. We have, in talking with some of these teams. So BJ Mariotti, St. Michael's, I believe he's like their 9th grade coach, and NY coach and everything like that. Owatonna, he coached me through my high school days and stuff, and having chats with him, and when he was talking about well, we have 70 plus wrestlers that are year-round wrestlers, and it's like, okay, cool. So that's that school, and that's the thing too is we recognize that hey, Owatonna is. I guess it's a gift and a curse that we are so good at so many different sports that we need to have kids doing, and that their friends do stuff like that. So, but can't emphasize enough that these are very low stakes practices.
Yes,
it's keeping fresh that way. You might pick up something cool that you can have translate to other things. So. At least try to make what you can and have some fun with it too, because that is the thing that we grew up with was in the 90s where, you knew the same 15 people going to tournaments and everything like that, but then that grew and suddenly you're taking 6 vans because so many kids were going because it should be a fun day.
Yeah.
It's not...
There's no
life
pressure. No, these open tournaments are no pressure. Now, as a cadet or junior, if you want to continue on and make it out to Fargo, there's going to be a point where all of a sudden, okay, time to flip the switch and go. But these open tournaments, and you can see it in all the kids at these tournaments. They're practicing. They're throwing moves that they probably typically wouldn't try, but it's an open tournament. You have 4-man bracket, and that's the way it is.
Yep.
And so I've seen some really good kids get taken down, and all of a sudden somebody gets a leg lace. Well, they just got beaten. Shake hands, and off the mat they go. There's nobody upset about. A little bit. There is people that get upset about losing. Yes, I understand, but it's not like it's the end of the world. There is no real record keeping.
No. Not at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
he won the Apple Valley tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Fargo matters a little bit.
yes,
For sure.
Fargo
But-
and like the state tournament. Yep,
Yeah.
it's going to get it. And then Northern Plains, because at them too is where the juniors and cadets have to qualify if they want to go
Yeah.
to Fargo. Them 2 tournaments. And they're both in Rochester this year. So
That's slick.
Owatonna wrestlers, if nothing going on, get in this practice room.
Yeah, and also on that note too, for those of you who aren't lifting in a dedicated spring sport through the high school, and even if you are, but not getting exactly, the frequency that's really going to take you to where you want, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Not that the workout takes an hour and a half, but we have that spot allotted to us to be able to do an official training. It's timed. It's very specific. You get a little extra in ways that you might not through. Each sport lifts a little differently, and you're gonna know.
Yep.
You're gonna know what you're missing in something like that. So we offer that up. It's coach led every single night, and that goes through the end of the school year. And honestly, we'll probably have that as a secondary option all throughout the summer as well. Because we encourage people to do the Owatonna Strength and Conditioning program as much as possible, but recognize that ride sharing, stuff like that, there's some obstacles. So we try to provide at least options. The Owatonna high school and middle school coaches, we're manning the fort and making sure that no kids left behind. They have that opportunity. So, well, great. Well, thank you for that update. We got. Keep your eyes peeled too with things coming down the pike. Like in June, we have our OWA Golf fundraiser at Brooktree. That date's going to be released.
It's not released yet, but we also have the 50-50 down at the Chateau Speedway.
That's right.
What I don't remember the date of that.
We're cooking with gas with these dates, aren't we? And then and also
they're both in June.
Yeah,
they're both in June.
The Luther Camp, and once again we the dates we finally decided as a staff we're going to do the later sessions, but we have some logistics to work out. So going to keep a very busy off season and make sure that the kids have all the opportunities to get an edge on Northfield and Overly and schools like that.
We got the big tub of water and we can lead the horse there, but it's up to the kids.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of which, we'll be back here in a second with one of our lead coaches for the youth ages for the OWA, Mr. Brenden Buryska. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. I forgot to mention we got Season 4, Episode 17.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Of the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly podcast. Joined with us this week, Mr. Brenden Buryska. Coach Buryska, how we doing?
Doing pretty good today.
That's good. First off, this handsome mug might be familiar to the Owatonna community. What do you do when you're not molding young hearts and minds?
I'm a chiropractor.
Where at?
Balanced Healthcare Centers.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
So is it doctor?
It is doctor.
Nice.
Dr. Mr. Coach Buryska.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
There we go.
You see, he can have different names too.
Yeah, that's true.
Different titles.
That's true. Well, so how many years have we had? Yeah, it seems like, well, we already talked off air. We got you for 20 more. But how many have you already put in coaching with us?
The 2 years.
2 years, okay.
2 years, okay.
About 2 years. I did freestyle the year before I really started.
Yep, you bopped in with me my first year back. That was it was nice to have other bodies in there when I was getting back into it, so that was good.
So you guys did the wrestling room send-off then, huh? You were technically the last people in the wrestling room then. Training, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Well, okay, so what year did you graduate?
Graduated in 2014.
God dang it. All right. Yeah.
Just passed my 10-year.
How does that feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not even a hint of gray,
You
so
just
you're
made
fine.
me feel real old.
I know. Yeah, dang it. So, and have you been back pretty much since graduating college?
Since I graduated from chiropractic school, I've been back here.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. So, all right, we're going to take it way back. because I remember you when you were just a little ball of Tasmanian Devil Fury. What got you into wrestling? Like, how early did you start with your own career?
When did I start? Kindergarten, I think.
The standard.
It was.
That's good.
Yep, my dad wrestled and his dad wrestled. It was just kind of a family event, a family sport.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's quite evident. Your dad was a great youth coach. Like, he'd chip in wherever he could, and he knew his stuff. So, and your parents are?
Jason and Sharon Buryska.
Jason and Sharon. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. So they bring you into practice. After a while, you stopped crying, and that was good. And then you kept going with it. Did you fall in love with the sport right away, or did it take a little time for you to kind of find what you really liked about it?
I just kind of showed up and had fun when I'd go to matches. I didn't win very many starting off until really freestyle, I think, was really what set me up a little bit better.
Okay.
When did I fall in love with it more? Probably about 5th grade. I was winning a little bit more often and felt a little more confident in myself with moves. And earlier on though, it was a thing I did and had fun with it, and still I enjoyed it still when I was younger.
Sure. Who were you kind of coming up with, like, for practice partners and stuff like that? Like, who are your buddies?
My buddies, Alex Green was one, Justin Tashney, Jacob Woodrich, Chandler Bauer, Brandon Moen, Tanner Cole. Those are my bunch, really.
Yeah. Man, that takes me back. 'Cause I remember I coached you at one point in that whole thing, maybe like 3rd-ish grade or something like that. And you were a pretty tight-knit crew, so that was cool. Yeah.
So when you were, who was the junior high coaches when you were there? I'm trying to think if I was still around then.
Your dad was one. Yep, and Nelson.
Coach Nelson,
Yep.
okay.
I think Ben Wilson.
Okay.
I'm sure was the other. So.
Okay. All right. So then you can get up to high school. When you were coming through high school, out of all 4 years, what would be your best memory? And it doesn't have to be. This one's not a match. Just in general with the team, with the wrestlers, bus ride, stay overnight tournament, skiing, or whatever you guys did. That 4 years. What was your favorite memory with your team?
It might have been before we were even wrestling freshman year when we had this big flood in Owatonna. I was hanging out with Nick Sheffert. Who else was I with? A couple of seniors, and we were bagging sand to help out the community and stuff. And I thought that was just a lot of fun to hang out with those guys, and work hard. And my hands got all cut up and whatever because they're like, hold the bag, and they just started shoveling, and they'd hit me with the shovels. So,
kind of initiation then.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I had fun. It was great to hang out with them during that day, and that was one. And I guess one time at state, it was really fun where we were hanging out in the hotel room, and Peyton Robb was running around, and then all of a sudden he just crashed and jumped into the bed and just fell asleep. So I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, he's all tuckered out.
Yeah, exactly. He was the young guy on the team. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, did your class as a team? What was your guys? I mean, how many times did you make it to state as a team coming through?
As a team, made it once.
Once, okay.
Yeah, my junior year.
Okay. And then individually?
Individually once.
Once,
my
okay.
senior year. Yep.
All right.
And you were what, like 215 heavyweight? Where were you at?
Nope, I was 106, 113, 120, 126, in that range.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Nice. And who, so on the mat moments, are there any matches that stand out? Doesn't even have to be where you did the best or anything, just some core memories or anything like that.
One was at the Federated Duels one year. They had the fastest pin trophy there, right? I had never won one, and this was my senior year. I was like, I need to get this one. This is the last opportunity. So I told Peyton Robb this, and he went out and pinned someone in 18 seconds, and he was the weight before me. I went out there, got someone in 16 seconds, and then the next match, he got someone 2 seconds faster. And so I had to go out there, and I pinned someone then 2 seconds faster than that.
Oh,
so it was
my
just a
God.
battle between us two, and I always wanted that big trophy.
Yeah.
So
Did you get it?
yes, I got
Okay,
it.
good.
Yep.
So you got
Good.
down to what, 12 seconds then?
Something like
I was
that.
trying to track the subtraction. Yeah, that's, man, Yeah, that's fast. Holy cow. That's awesome. Well, yeah, so you mentioned some big names there and everything like that, but like, what was kind of the culture like? We're on the topic of off season here. Was everybody hardcore, year round type of stuff, or like what was kind of the culture of bringing people along together, or something like that?
So a lot of people were in other sports,
Yeah.
of course, and I tried staying with it through freestyle as long as I could, really. And then I got involved with track and field, and so that kind of took over my springtime. And
You were a pole vaulter, weren't you?
Yep.
I heard about that. I was like, no way. That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, what got you into that?
Okay, Adam Kubat, he was a wrestler that
Yeah.
pole vaulted, and he told me I should try it out. So I went out and tried it freshman year, and I fell in love with that sport. So
How do you not have just the most fear doing that? Like, it just seems like so many things could go wrong.
And there is a lot of things that could go wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy. It looks like kamikaze.
So
Like, just
I got to ask, when you were doing it, did they make you wear a helmet?
Yes, in high school.
So in high school, you could, okay. Because when I
College,
came
no.
through, I tried it 1 year. There was no helmets or nothing. They just said, run with that pole. So I was wondering when that helmet rule kind of came into play. Okay, so it's in 14, right? 14. you
Yep,
had
that's
to-
when I graduated. Yep.
Okay. All right. But still, that little helmet, and you're, 10, 12 feet in the air holding onto a stick.
Oh, like 14.
14. Okay, 14.
yeah.
Yep. But yeah, going back to your question though, it was just a lot of, everyone was in other sports in my class,
Yeah.
Going through it, but we all, would be there for summer lifting. We usually would go either, like starting middle school, we went to the junior high and lifted all summer, and then there are some other programs scattered in there, like throughout high school, and yeah, I know football was a big thing in, Owatonna too,
Yeah.
so
Right.
a lot did that lifting over the summer.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you do anything in the fall, sports-wise?
Soccer.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's right. I knew that
Yeah,
too.
so that
Okay.
took up a lot of my summer too.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, starting that early. Well, awesome. Okay, so
So now we got through high school.
Yeah.
Went off to college. Got your doctor and chiropractor.
Yep.
Right? Did I say
Yep.
that right? So now you come back to Owatonna. So what made you have that desire to come back in and help coach? Just
Yeah, well, wrestling, I feel, just really motivated me throughout life, right? It's like, it taught me how to work hard, suffer a little bit, but get through it. And it just taught me a lot of life skills.
Yep.
So I really wanted to give back to what helped me grow as an individual.
good answer. I like that one.
perfect.
Yes. So now that you're back, married yet?
Going to be.
Going to be, okay.
Yep, engaged to be.
Engaged. I did know that. I just had to throw that out there.
right.
We all knew that, but just let everybody know that you are taken now. You're not on the market anymore.
No.
God dang it. Yeah.
So when's the big day coming up?
That's in June.
Okay.
Yep, so summer and a couple months to go.
All right. And then how much longer? I mean, I know we had a contract earlier that you signed
Yeah,
for 20 years.
right.
Is that what the plan is right now?
Right now, yeah. I guess we're hanging out for that long.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, okay, so I know someone who was kind of sitting with you during the banquet, and she said that you had just a really great attitude about coaching youth and everything like that, and talking about some of your favorite parts of it. Like, what are your favorite parts? She told me, but I want to hear it from you too.
I like seeing all the kids grow. Like from my first year coaching to this last year, like there's a big change, and how well they were doing. The attitude that they come in with is way better, and their ability to like pay attention too is
Yeah.
a bit better this time around. Maybe it was just me changing things up more. It helped out, but yeah, I liked how things went there. Let's see, yeah, just their attitude always. They're there to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it, but especially at that age, is like you got to have fun, or else
Yeah.
you could get burnt out, and you see
Exactly.
that happen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And we're lucky to have you. So this past, what age groups have you been primarily coaching?
About first and second grade.
First and second? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
A bunch of feral cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, better than better than the pre-K.
Yeah, they have fun. They,
Yes.
they do their thing after a while, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's good. That's good. And yeah, we, off air, just talking about like, some of the pedigree that's in the room now, coaching youth, and how excited we are for names like that, like Buryska, Beggar, Scala, Sorensen, Fox. Yeah, to have those type of names, those known names, who knows. You know the benchmarks, the standards that we're trying to adhere to and everything like that. And also people who are concentrated on creating good human beings or helping foster good human beings. So we appreciate that very much. So how about any shout outs that you want to make on this?
Well, I guess I need to make one to my fiance, Karn Kath.
Smart move.
Yep.
Good job. Good job.
And then also my dad and grandpa for getting me into wrestling and keeping that part of the family and helping me get to where I'm at.
Good.
Well put.
Well, I like to say thank you for all the help that you do with us. Even I know you're not full time coming into the freestyle room, but just that little bit that you do come in for the freestyle half, I greatly appreciate it, because I feel I sweat more trying just to get around to everybody, and having more people like you in there with me. It's very nice. It does help out a lot, especially with my numbers growing. Our numbers, I shouldn't say my numbers, our numbers growing. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Well, thanks again. And we look forward to, like we said, the next 20 years with Coach Dr. Buryska. And and thank you to Flemke Insurance Agency one more time for all they do. They're sponsoring this podcast. Major contributors to the Owatonna Wrestling Association and the Owatonna community. So thank you so much. And we're going to be talking about some Mason City hardware next week then.
Yep. So this weekend we're going to be heading out to Mason City. Some emails will be coming out. I think we're all going to meet probably here at the high school, and we're going to caravan down.
Nice.
There's some parents that are going to, if you need a ride, there is parents are going to be here that you'll be able to get in and ride with them. So
there's always rides.
there will be a ride for everybody that needs a ride. So that excuse is not going to work this weekend, that you didn't have a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being on, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
There you
Practice
go.
tomorrow, 5:30 to 7.
All right. Well, take care, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.